Coach, how would you train a kid in MMA? I wouldn't. Okay, so I have two children of my own. If you guys don't know, my children train on a regular basis. I have them up on YouTube. Hold on, let me find you guys a quick video and show you how I train them exactly. Okay, you guys can see them training live. And hold on a second here. Here we go. Boom. Now that I'm you know what? I might be a blue belt. Excuse me, I might be a purple belt. Check this out. Boom. Here is a video, my friends, of my children rolling. You asked, and look, I was able to push those buttons and get you a video of how I train my children. So this is my kids. They're in class. Now they're doing the adult class. Why are they in the adult class? Because I feel now that they have the maturity and understanding of jiu-jitsu that they can follow an adult class. That's my son, Ayman. He's just kind of flow rolling, play rolling. After this practice, my sons were telling me this is the funnest practice they've ever had. And they really like the adult class and they want to keep coming. And of course, after practice, there's McDonald's, you know, they get a little reward, associating good feelings, good fun, good vibes with training. No, no negativity. Everything's positive. Of course, I'm disciplined with them. You know, when I tell them to be quiet and listen, they're quiet and they listen. That's the only reason why I bring them to the adult class, because they're mature enough to follow the rules. If they were not following the rules, if they were always giggling and laughing and not paying attention, and it turned into a babysitting job for me, I would not bring them, or I would bring them once and then not bring them again. But they're really good boys. They sit down, they pay attention, they're interested in the moves, they're able to follow the class. And then when it's time to roll, they roll with the adults. They'll also roll with each other, but they're just going through the sequences. And I really believe in training kids in wrestling and jiu-jitsu first, not striking. Striking should come later. Why? Because of blows. Okay, blows to the head are no for children. Okay, when I see people trying to teach their children boxing and they put them in the ring at a young age, I really think it's a huge mistake. Why? Look at most fighters that fight in a striking art from a young age, and I'm talking about boxing and kickboxing. Okay, mostly boxing. We see that heavily in Thailand. In Thailand, you'll have young kids fighting from a very, very young age. A lot of them later on, they're not well-balanced human beings. Okay, and I'm not trying to say anything negative about kickboxers and boxers. I've read research on the brain. If it's concussed over time, too many times, too many impacts, there could be a whole host of neurological problems. And one being the dopamine receptors. They're not as strong. So the person's always feeling down. They always need a pick-me-up, like alcohol or drugs or some kind of something crazy. They need something crazy in their life to make them feel good. Now, look, I'm not a neurologist. Okay, ask, or I would say read up a book on it. You know, do some research. Do your own research before you put your children in a sport that has impact to the head. Any impact to the head, in my opinion, guys, is a no-no, including football. Including soccer if they're headers. Like, I wouldn't let my kid do headers. My kids play soccer, no headers, no hitting the ball with your head. Why? The brain is too important of an organ to damage, to wear out, you want it in pristine, mint condition. These are developing brains. These are developing bodies. Wrestling is great for a developing body. Impact is not. So my kids, they do a little bit of striking, but it's more like Taekwondo. They'll kick the bag. They'll do Muay Thai techniques. But when we do spar, it's just like we put on the Taekwondo shield, body shield, and we kind of just kick the body. And honestly, I don't make them do much of that. No impact to the head. 0 impact to the head. 1% impact to the body. It's such a minimal amount. It's more of a game. We're trying to like land a side kick. We're trying to land. I don't know what happened there. I think it's just the next video is supposed to be coming up. We're trying to land a body kick. No blows to the head whatsoever. 0 strikes to the head. If you let your kids hit themselves in the head, in my opinion, that's a really, really bad thing to do to your children. Do not let your children get any impact to the head whatsoever. Let them grow up to be adults. Now, let's take George St. Pierre, for instance. This is a great, example of what I'm talking about. A great example. George St. Pierre became world champion. Did he do boxing in his youth? No, he did zero boxing in his youth. What did he do in his youth? He did a lot of Kyokushin. Now, Kyokushin, you're allowed to punch to the body, no blows to the head. Only kicks to the head. Now, kicking to the head is very rare. It does happen on occasion, but they're very rare. And most of the competitions, you're not allowed to go hard. You're not allowed to go full blast. You can't kick the guy to the head and knock him out. That's later on when you're older, when you're like 17, 18, they allow like more full contact type events. Okay, now there are some full contact karate Kyokushin events. George did the ones with the helmet, with the gloves, and it was semi-contact. He did plenty of that. What did it teach him? It taught him distance, it taught him reflex, it trained his eyes, it did so many great things. When he was about 20 years old, we really transitioned into boxing. That's when I met him. We started boxing heavily. Me and him started boxing heavily, going to the boxing club, going to the Muay Thai clubs. He had been doing striking his entire life, but not boxing. His boxing was not very good at early on, but he caught on very quickly. Why? Because it's very similar to karate. The distances, getting out of the way, hitting the guy, making the guy miss, blocking. You know, all those things were done without the traumas to the brain. So you can do it in a way that's very intelligent. That's why I like taekwondo, I like karate, I like kickboxing to the body only, body shot sparring, no head impact. And now you look at George St. Pierre, he's a very well-articulated human being. He's a very well-balanced human being. He doesn't have any emotional roller coaster, up and down, depression. You could see that with fighters who've been fighting for a young age. You know, they're very emotional. Their temperament can swing left and right. They seem almost bipolar. And I think there may be an association with taking shots to the head from a young age. Now, I have actually read research I've actually read up on this, and there definitely is evidence with impact to the brain. Okay, so do your own research, read up on that. Ask a neurologist if you ever cross a neurologist, or you can contact them online. Now they have MDs online. You can write them an email. You can write them, a post, and you can get medical attention. You can get experts' advice, medical experts' advice on this precise question. Me personally, I don't do any blows to the head. I like wrestling and jiu-jitsu. It makes you strong. It makes you athletic. It teaches you how to play the game, right? It teaches you strategy. You know, if he grabs my arm, what do I do? It teaches you the details. It teaches you how to think. It's such a great art. But avoid impact, guys. I can't say that enough.